Jonathan Lee Riches, aka JLR, Justice for Summer Wells. Where is Summer Wells? I've been reviewing a lot of my video footage that I took back in November of last year, 2021, when I was in front of the home of Don and Candus Wells. I was with a group of individuals and we were combing the area. We were looking along Beach Creek. We were looking along the roads there. We were speaking to neighbors of Don and Candus Wells. We spoke to one particular neighbor and she drove by and we stopped her and she talked to us. She talked to us and she provided some insight and some important information that, now that I look at it, kind of puts more things into perspective. So this neighbor lives on the other side of the road, the other side of Beach Creek, across from the home of Don and Candus Wells. So that is a road called Simpson Loop Road. She lives along that road there and she can see the home of Don and Candus Wells across Beach Creek on top of that mountain. And I want to show you something. I'll show you a little encounter we had with this neighbor. Check it out.
Alright, so we contacted the police. We just went around and we're trying to find Summer Wells. And we were at town hall, went to the sheriff's office, spoke to 3 sheriffs, a detective, and we're just scoping out the place just to see the terrain and how it's possible that someone could kind of come from here up there and snatch her. Do you know what I'm saying?
So,
I think so.
are you a neighbor?
She said,
God bless you. How do you feel about what's going on?
It's bullshit. Not that want to help. So, what do you honestly think?
I know.
Yeah, there's no way.
Surprised.
There's no way.
It's a hill. It's a
Let her
steep
talk.
hill.
Let her talk.
But do you think that it's possible that, we know that Candace was not watching the children. The boys were watching Summer. Do you think it's possible Summer may have came out and played and went off that mountain and hanged herself?
Well, I'm sure mom found her and freaked out and realized she wasn't watching her. And nothing happened. Are we behind her? Are you guys still behind her?
What happened?
The TBI and FBI police have not once to interview.
Yeah, gotcha.
So where does she live? Right up there?
She lives up the hill.
And you know what she said? She said that she hears things.
She said that she hears a lot of
the
sound
sound travels, and she can tell you that this place over here is very noisy, and there's not a day that goes by that there's not F-bombs dropped and screaming and commotion that goes on here. And but these people are crazy, and they're not nice people. They're not nice people. So that means there's a lot of violence in that home.
So the neighbor said, the whole story up at the Wells home, the kidnapping, is BS. It's complete BS. The neighbor has told us that she could hear screams and hollering coming from that home, the Wells home, almost regularly. She also said that law enforcement did not speak to her ever. And this was in November of last year, so this is months after Summer Wells was reported missing. Law enforcement never went and spoke to her. Interesting, right? Why wouldn't law enforcement go and speak to all the surrounding neighbors to see what they know or what they heard, or if they have any suspicions or anything, to get any information? She was not contacted by law enforcement. You heard her. You heard my group say that she said that, it's BS. And she said, as far as the kidnapping, and she said that she was hearing screams coming from that hill, cussing on. You could hear a lot of things coming out of the home of Don and Candus Wells. They live on top of a big giant mountain. Everything echoes. Everything echoes. So the neighbors can hear. But she didn't get interviewed, which is interesting. Why? Well, maybe because, like I said, I want you to listen to this. I want you to listen to this right here. My theory on why she did not, why law enforcement did not speak to her. What'd she say?
She said
TBI has not been up there to
TBI, FBI, nothing.
Nobody has been up there.
Well, that means they're focused on there. That is a good thing, though,
Yeah.
in a sense, because if they're not going to waste their time,
Right.
if they haven't been up there, then they've been in here, they're zeroing in on here, and they have something where they feel like something happened
But they
here.
need evidence. They need probable cause to go on that property to execute search warrants. And these people can give them some evidence of what's going on in this house. And they haven't even went over there on that side to talk to them.
No, even since the beginning.
A key factor here is she is a neighbor, and she said the TBI has not spoken to her. Law enforcement has not spoken to her. That's interesting.
Yes, it is.
Has all the neighbors around the Wells home been properly spoken to, vetted? Maybe they have some information. Maybe they're witnesses. Maybe they can provide more insight to law enforcement, but she hasn't been spoken to. So that's what she did say. So I found that disturbing. But, it's not surprising. It's not surprising. That home is on the mountain there on the top of a hill. The Wells have a history of domestic violence. The Wells' son, child molestation charges. He has a bunch of criminal charges from Utah. The mother, had their children taken away from a prior relationship up in Wisconsin. It's bad. These people are bad news. Abandonment. Maybe because law enforcement are not and were not focused on that other side of the road, Beach Creek. They were more honed in on around Ben Hill Road. You would think if something of interest was on the other side, law enforcement would be asking every single neighbor around there if they seen or heard anything. So they didn't. So this neighbor was not contacted by authorities. I wonder how many more neighbors were not contacted by authorities in that area. We heard from check out my other video. I spoke briefly to the Carolyn Sue Chambers, who lives at the corner of Ben Hill and Beach Creek, right at the corner there, that corner house. She said law enforcement contacted her. Jody Sue Brown said law enforcement contacted her. That other gentleman that stays or has a girlfriend that lives in back of Don and Candus Wells on Simpson Road there with all the junk vehicles and older vehicles. Donald Scherfley, he said law enforcement has contacted him. But this individual that we spoken to in her car said law enforcement hasn't contacted her. And she can see Don and Candus Wells' home with her eyes. And she didn't get contacted. So it was authorities more focused on the Ben Hill side of Beach Creek than on the other side, which is called Simpson Loop Road. I'll take you on a drive right now. Check this video right here. This is a drive where that neighbor lives. That Simpson Loop Road. Check it out. This is across the street from Beach Creek. Some homes up here. So that mountain there is directly in back of the home of Don and Candus Wells. Their home, Ben Hill, takes you far back into that. It's a big mountain. Neighbor has a RV, and you can see that's the top of the home of Don and Candus Wells right there. This is called Simpson Loop Road. And then that's over there would be Ben Hill when you go that way, but that's Don and Candus's home right there. On top of the hill. And there's their shed. So yeah, the neighbor around there did not, she said she didn't get contacted. So she didn't get contacted. What does all that mean? Did police properly do a vetting investigation by searching all the neighbors and gathering insight? I mean, just by her saying that she heard things going on over there could be good for circumstantial evidence down the line if the body of Summer Wells is not found and Don and Candus Wells and Grandma Candace Harrer eventually get charged. One of them get charged with something. You know, you would want witnesses to hear things, you know, to come forward to say what they heard around there, to paint a picture, to paint an overall picture of Don and Candus Wells. So yeah, again, out there, I was out there numerous times searching along Beach Creek there. Check this out here. This is kind of the area in front of the home. I'm sure you guys seen footage, but this is my footage from outside the home of Don and Candus Wells. Check this out. So let me know what you think. Let me know your theories, suggestions, comment. I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing your speculation. I love to hear your theories. Please share, and I will respond to you guys. And let's have a conversation in the comments. Let's talk. You know, is authorities going to eventually go talk to this neighbor? Now this was in November. Since then, has authorities spoken to this neighbor? I don't know. This was back in November when I was there in November. Justice for Summer Wells. We are trying to find Summer Wells. We are trying to find what happened to Summer Wells. If you have any information about the whereabouts of Summer Wells, please contact the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation at 1-800-TBI-FINE or the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. God bless. Everyone be safe. And let's hope Summer is found very, very soon.